Have you ever started something with full energy, maybe going to the gym, reading every night, or waking up early only to quit after just a few days? If that sounds familiar, here's the truth. The problem isn't you. The problem is how you're building discipline. The good news is the solution is simple. I am going to share with you 5 powerful habits that will help you stay consistent with any routine, no matter how many times you failed before. These habits are backed by science and have helped thousands of my clients around the world. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you to drink more water, exercise, or eat healthy. We all know those generic tips. Instead, I'll teach you the underlying principles to build any habit effectively. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to practice discipline in a way that finally sticks. 1. Start small. The 2-minute rule. Most people fail because they start too big, too fast. They aim for work out 1 hour every day, or read 30 pages each night. And within days, life gets in the way. Instead, follow the 2-minute rule. Start with the smallest possible version of your habit. Want to read? Just open the book and read 1 page. Want to exercise? Start with 5 push-ups. Want to meditate? Sit down, close your eyes, and breathe for 2 minutes. Why does this work? Because the hardest part is starting. Once you've started, your brain naturally wants to keep going. A client of mine once said, "I promised myself just 2 minutes of journaling each morning. Some days, I wrote only a few lines. Other days, I ended up writing pages. But the key was I never skipped." And that's how journaling became a real habit. Remember, discipline grows from consistency, not intensity. 2. Track your progress. Have you ever noticed how satisfying it feels to check something off a to-do list? That's dopamine, your brain's reward system. A habit tracker uses that same psychology. It could be a notebook, a wall calendar, or a simple app on your phone. Every time you complete your habit, you mark an X. Over time, you create a visible chain of success. There's a powerful rule called, don't break the chain. Once you see 5, 10, or 20 days in a row, your brain doesn't want to lose the streak. One of my students told me, I used to give up after a week. But once I started tracking, I kept going for 60 days straight. I didn't want to break my chain. Remember, consistency becomes addictive when you can see it. 3. Create environmental nudges. Discipline isn't only about willpower, it's also about your environment. The easier you make a habit, the more likely you'll stick with it. For example, want to read more? Leave a book on your desk or bedside table. Want to exercise? Lay out your gym clothes and shoes the night before. Want to eat healthier? Keep fruit on the counter and don't buy junk food. These are what psychologists call environmental cues. They act like silent reminders that pull you toward good habits and away from bad ones. I had a client who wanted to play guitar daily. He used to keep it in the closet. After we placed it on a stand right in his living room, he naturally picked it up more often without forcing himself. Remember, small changes in your environment remove friction and make discipline automatic. 4. Habit stacking. Anchor new habits. One of the most effective strategies to build new habits is habit stacking, linking a new habit to something you already do every day. For example, after brushing your teeth, meditate for 2 minutes. After making your morning coffee, write down 3 things you're grateful for. After dinner, go for a 5-minute walk. This works because your existing habit becomes a trigger for the new one. You don't need extra willpower. You just piggyback off a routine you already have. Think of it like this. Discipline doesn't need to fight against your brain. It can flow with your brain. Remember, every new habit needs a home. Habit stacking gives it one. 5. Reward yourself. Make discipline enjoyable. Discipline doesn't have to feel like punishment. In fact, if it always feels painful, you'll eventually quit. That's why rewards are so important. Your brain loves rewards. It releases dopamine every time you celebrate progress. And that dopamine keeps you coming back for more. Examples of small rewards. Complete a week of workouts gives treat yourself to a nice dinner. Write daily for 30 days gives buy yourself a new notebook. Stay consistent with studying gives allow a guilt-free movie night. Remember, discipline is built on small wins, not endless sacrifice. Remember, discipline isn't born, it's built one day at a time. Let me ask you, what's one habit you're building right now? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And remember, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up over and over again until your habits become who you are.